Let us bow our heads and put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us today. May you bestow your guidance and blessings so that we can enjoy and appreciate its significance in our lives. Bless everyone who are present here today, that each one of us may be able to share our knowledge, understanding, and wisdom for your glory and honor. May the various activities related to this event be a success through your intervention. We all ask of this in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Okay, it is a glorious moment to extend our warm wishes on behalf of Beyond Books Publication, headed by our president, the CEO, Dr. Leonilo Capulso. Good morning, sir. And I want also to convey our heartfelt gratitude to our ever dedicated and active participants for accepting the invitation, and also to our plenary speakers. Good morning to everyone. You can type in po the name of your school you are belong, okay? And we are here to always guide you to give the knowledge with our specific team. And these seminars or webinars are organized and conducted for the general audience to gain insights and information that would remain effective in their lives in exercises, work, and professional growth. The topic for the discussion for this morning webinar was chosen that all our participants who are interested in this topic. And for the opening remarks, may we call on the Authors and Writers Guild President, no other than Professor Minsuwari Bacolod.
Thank you, Dr. Sonny Soriano. And good morning, everyone. Good morning to our CEO and founding President, Dr. Leonilo Capulso.
Good morning.
Our distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends of Beyond Books Publications, our authors, writers, and members of the Guild, to our students, participants, teachers, and other professionals. I am pleased to welcome you all to the International Multidisciplinary Webinar Series of the Guild with the theme, Rising Beyond the Pandemic, Ensuring Quality Life Towards Integral Development. As mentioned by Dr. Sonny, it aims a lot of insights, learnings, and our webinar this day will be providing the key inputs in the different areas, styles, strategies, and trends in educational approach in different blend. I am sure we are also reaching out many students, teachers, and other professionals here in our webinar. A warm welcome to you all, and this context, this webinar for day one, please expect our speakers, Dr. Leonilo B. Capulso. He will be discussing or sharing insights about authorship and publication towards professional development, to be followed by Linden Evangelista, about digital pedagogy, a guide. Next, by Dr. Joseph Inggan. He will be sharing about stress management for students and teachers. And lastly, for Dr. Sonny Soriano, he will be sharing again the basic in action research for junior high school and senior high school students. This is an important agenda, but also a vast one. And the time available to us is very limited. But we have also heard from you through your responses to our online survey. Right after our webinar, we are expecting you all to answer the survey for you to able to get your certificate of attendance. Your comments, suggestions are much appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that by participating in this webinar, we are in the right place and the right time. Together, let us accelerate the exchange of ideas and cultivate and apply good practices. I also encouraging you all, our participants, to attend the 3 days webinars and to attend to our upcoming event of the Guild on December 4 at Kingsport Hotel, Manila. The Authors and Writers Guild of Beyond Books Publication is now searching on for the Outstanding Authors and Writers Excellence Award 2022 in a different publishing. Okay? And I am confident that you will find new ideas and meet partnership with us to sustain, to help you in your professional development by means of publication. Be published authors and writers with us. Again, I wish you all a very successful webinar. Thank you and mabuhay sa ating lahat.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful message, Professor Bacolod. So our first topic for today's webinar is authorship and publication toward professional development. Now let me introduce to you our first preliminary speaker of the day. For our first, he is multi-awarded Filipino researcher, motivational speaker, teacher, researcher, and international consultant from Pampanga, Philippines. He is a native of Hipuna, Pontevedra, Capiz, and currently residing in San Gabriel, Macabebe, Pampanga. He is a husband to Dr. Shirelu Castillo Lagman Capulso, an occupational health physician, and a father to his única hija, Liliana Luisa, whom he dearly called Ellie. Also, he is a former senior high school master teacher 1 at San Matias National High School, CDO Pampanga. He is a dangal ng Bayan Awardee of the Civil Service Commission, Honor Awards Program, Region 12 as Outstanding Government Worker. He was also awarded as Most Outstanding Teacher of Department of Education, Region 3, and the School Division of Pampanga. At present, he is a president of CEO Beyond Books Publication, a self-publishing company that caters to books and research journal publication indexed in National Library of the Philippines with International Serial Book Number ISBN and International Standard Serial Number ISSN. He is also the editor-in-chief of the International Journal of Advanced Multidisciplinary Studies, IJAMS, that publish action research, feasibility studies, capstone projects, book reviews, and full-blown research studies in using IMRAD EPA format version 7 on a quarterly basis. As a research advocate, it has been advocacy to promote the culture of research and productivity by developing school-based research management in the region and countryside. He has initiated research capacity building writes-ups on online trainings for new researchers in the government and private schools and institutions. His network with local and international organizations and universities become a bridge in hosting international trainings and research conferences in the Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam through his company, Beyond Books Publication. His love for his fortunate moved him to conduct studies and advocates for community development in the depressed areas and initiative literacy and faith program to select the children of Macabebe, Pampanga, Philippines. As educational leader, he was written contextualized curriculum modules in values education in junior high school students and written assessment and evaluation tools for the senior high school students in the Department of Education in the Philippines. His several research studies and experiences on educational practice led him to writing this book. He holds a bachelor degree in education, BS Ed major in religious education from Colegio de la Purísima Concepción Rojas City, Capiz, and master in religious studies, MRS, catechist, cum laude from Don Bosco Center of Studies, Parañaque City, an affiliate of Salesian Pontifical University, Rome, Italy. He took a Master of Arts in Education MAED Bridge course from De La Salle University, Dasmariñas and University of Perpetual Health System, Dalta, Las Peñas City. He completed a Doctor of Philosophy, PhD in Educational Management with dissertation entitled An Emerging Model in Promoting and Enhancing Research Productivity in Basic Education from University of the Assumption City of San Francisco, Pampanga. He is no other than Dr. Leonilo B. Capulso. Please give him a warm of applause.
Thank you, Doc Joy. Thank you, everyone. Welcome our dear participants. In a while, we will be having also our keynote speaker, Dr. Muthmainnah from Indonesia, that will be after my talk. So basically, I'll be sharing authorship and publication towards professional development. And I would like to extend my gratitude to Professor Bacolod for facilitating as the president of Authors and Writers Guild. So later on, you would realize that those who will be publishing with Beyond Books publication in our journal, magazine, and books will automatically become members of Authors and Writers Guild, which will be recognized on December 4, as mentioned in Kingsford Hotel, Manila. Thank you, Dr. Sonny and Dr. Joy for moderating, Dr. Georgine for being our event chair for today. So I'll be sharing my screen. So I hope this is visible now. Is my screen visible?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, thank you. Good. Let me just do some adjustment because I cannot see you guys, but I can see my screen. Anyway, so for those who might be responding, just unmute yourself later on if I'll be throwing some questions. So once again, I am Dr. Capulso. I'm your president and CEO of Beyond Books Publication. So for today, we will be hitting two birds in one stone. First, we will be introducing our company and what are the services which you could publish. And then later on, I'll be showing to you the benefits, the advantages of publishing, not only in BBP, of course, but I want you to see the advantage if you publish in a self-publishing company like ours. So I am Dr. Leonilo Capulso, once again, from Macabebe, Pampanga, but we are also registered in Greeley, Colorado, USA. Okay. BBP is also a CPD provider registered in London, as you would realize. So Beyond Books Publication is a sole proprietor company in the Philippines, established in 2018. We are catering the needs of educators, as you would realize, and leaders in the academy and industry in the field of publication, capacity building, research development, and productivity. Beyond Books Publication envisions an informed community of authors, researchers, educators, and professionals. So that's how we look at teachers and leaders in all fields. No, that will contribute to the development of our society through publication and research, human and professional development, humanitarian advocacies in the service of humanity. So that's our tagline, no? In the service of humanity. Our mission is to promote the culture of research and productivity, no, in the different fields through books and journal publication, conferences, local and international outcomes-based capacity building like this, write-ups and trainings. Now we are doing some partnership with different universities. Our host now, a Director of International Linkages, Dr. Sonny Soriano, is having now an ongoing talks for a possible partnership with Urdaneta City University. There are also other universities who partnered with us, and they started already publishing their master's thesis in our journal as a requirement for graduation. Our core values are integrity, innovation, teamwork, customer focus, honesty, excellence, leadership, stewardship, and accountability. So you count us on those values that we try to live out in this company, in this organization. So for some individuals that you may see, okay, these are our national secretariat. Some of them already migrated to the US, but most of them are still here, okay, that represent the different areas of the publication. We have our legal team. We have those in charge of ICT, consultant in different languages. And later on, if you want to become a member, feel free to ask our president, and our staff are also with us. We have also regional coordinators for both for Beyond Books Publication and our magazine, and you are also welcome to join us, okay? Because we don't limit one regional coordinators. The benefit of that, we will be discussing to you in separate Zoom sessions. Okay, now I'll proceed right away to our services, and later on at the middle of my discussion, I'll be sharing to you why we need to publish. As our title would say, for professional development, since particularly in basic education, we now have the new progression, okay, development progression for promotion of teachers. You need not to wait for the vacancy anymore, but there are other ways to be promoted and to develop as a person. So our first service is book publication with international book number issued by the National Library of the Philippines. But for those who are residing in the States, for example, like Dr. Shenet Cunanan Gonzalez, which opt to have the book also published in the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., you may also opt to do that in partnership with Beyond Books Publication. These are just some of the books we have published. Ito yung mga nakauna-unahan naming mga libro. Please know that Beyond Books Publication, aside from being catalog and index in the National Library, we are also now recognized by the National Development of Book of the Philippines, no? And those who will become members, also those who want to receive a separate certificate, we could help you facilitate with that. No, these are some of the updated books, okay? Yung mga kasamahan natin dito ngayon, alam nila na nandyan yung mga libro nila, okay? We have books for senior high school. We have books for graduate school, like writing research or thesis and dissertation, using qualitative, using quantitative, and using mixed method. We also have sets of research, okay? Ang pagsulat ng pananaliksik sa wikang Pilipino, we have actually published 4 series already. And then we have several short stories turned into a book. We also have books on nursing. We have books on tourism. We have also books on, for example, for performing arts. So since Beyond Books is multidisciplinary, you could publish actually any genre of book, which you could use for ranking and promotion and professional development. And mind you guys, we have several members already who are promoted to deanship, to full professorship, and now also enjoying the benefit of being a member of Beyond Books publication and publishing in our company. There was even one who used to be an administrative officer 1 or 2. Now he is an administrative 4 in the division, in one of the schools division office of Region 3 Central Luzon and more. These are just some of our authors. Ito yung mga kauna-unahang naging authors ni Beyond Books publication. These are some of the books we published. For example, here on my left, these are the books on senior high school, inquiries, investigation, and immersion. Our authors are diverse. No? They are coming from state universities and basic education department. In writing dissertation, if you could see, we have from State University. Okay, as you could see here, Cagayan State University. We have from TESDA, but now he is from Women's University, Philippine Women's University, from University of Northern Philippines, okay, from the Department of Education, from Masbate Colleges, okay, from University of Luzon, so on and so forth. These books used to be books for co-authorship, but now they are published. No, so we have books for fundamental of earth science, general biology, experimental research, teaching English, teaching math. Although some of these are not yet published. No, some of them are still for authorship, like teaching mathematics. So if you want to become co-author of that, you can contact us straight. You can message us in the chat box. Our staff are there to help you. You can also message our moderators and even our president of the guild, no, Professor Bacolod. These are our recently published books. Okay, so kung napapansin nyo, we're going now very cultural. No, we have now a new English Manobo Dulangan Lexicography by Maam Ruth Villarta. Okay, and thank you to our regional coordinators who facilitated this. We have also banking on the ATMs of speech writing, public speaking, and hosting by Dr. Adamson Labi. Okay, that's why we have now the Labi model. So if you want to know about his book, you can contact him or contact BBP. We can help you. This one, the Kayumanggi, is a collection of books actually of a college student, an education student from Don Honorio Ventura State University. He used to be my senior high school student and student council vice president. This one, Ultimate Guide to Marketing Management, is by Dr. Arthur Soquinia. He is from Guimaras State University. Okay, he also joined us in our event last June 25 in Century Hotel in Angeles City. Also, we have mga kwentong bayan ng Tagbanwa. Okay, mga tultul it mga Tagbanwa by Ma'am Mary Grace Ancheta Hagmis. Thank you to Dr. Georgine for facilitating from Western Philippines University. Now, for those who are listening, okay, please know that these books are open for co-authorship. So all you have to do is contact our regional coordinators, our marketing, Ma'am Nancy, Ma'am Tin, and other marketing coordinators who are joining us. If you want to contribute an article, no, so this will be basically a compilation of stories, like for example, on inspiring teacher stories. So if you have inspiring stories as teachers, maybe during pandemic or before the pandemic, contact our regional coordinators, our marketing staff. Innovative classroom practices. May mga nagpasa kayong innovation. You could just give us a summary of that, write an article, then be part of this book. Those who are in a relationship, no, relationship matters, staying faithful amidst temptation. You can also share in this book. Family secrets, know how to become united as a family, then being single yet being happy. Okay, so all these books are open for co-authorship, which you can use for ranking and promotion as well. Now, our other services, we have international peer-reviewed journal with ISSN. We have our personal account in the Google Scholar. So from time to time, our articles are also cited in the Google Scholar, and some of them would attest later on. We have our printed journal, which we do quarterly. We were not able to write here the fourth. No, we are done already with the first issue, with the first volume of our printed journal. Okay, with an ISSN 2782893X. If you realize, we have EISSN because we have our monthly digital or online journal as well. Recently, we just released our first and second issue for volume number 2, okay, of International Journal of Advanced Multidisciplinary Studies. Here, you could publish basic research, action research, dissertation, thesis, and innovation, okay? And this we done every quarter, okay? So this is for issue number 1. The blue one is the issue number 2, okay? So if you want to publish, you can contact us here, okay? You can do the screenshot or just scan this QR code, and then it will bring you to our website, okay, of our journal. Now, if you are looking at me now, you would realize you could see our online journal, although the web map is already changed. No, we try to revise our logo. Okay, but more or less ito yung makikita nyo. Pag pumunta kayo, ito yung website natin, no? Sa mga gustong mag-publish sa journal ng research, action research, just type this, okay? www.ijams/bbp.net. Okay, dadaling kayo dito. So if you want to know more about Beyond Books publication, you just click publisher there. Now, here, if you want to get our template para yun na lang yung susundan nyo, you could just click the downloads. If you want to see our current issues and those previous issues, you go to the archive. Okay, our conferences are also here. If you want to submit article and guidelines, if your authors is here. If you want to know our authors and editors, they are here. Okay, so this is a sample online journal that you could see. Then we also have International Multidisciplinary Monthly Magazine. Okay, which is also, ang maganda nito, our journal and magazine are already recognized by, we already got some advisories from the Department of Education, okay, and in several regions already. So these are some of our published covers, no? The first cover, of course, yours truly. Then you have Muthmainnah, Professor Muthmainnah, Rania Lampu. She is our keynote speaker in the second day. We have Dr. Shinit Cunanan Gonzalez, our Vice President ng BBP in Colorado. We have Dr. Diosdado San Antonio. He is now in another department. Okay, he left the DepEd, but he is still affiliated with Asian group of leaders. Then we have Tulsi Rampande from Kathmandu, Nepal. We have Juan, okay, from Mexico. Our latest just released is Attorney Cheljok, no? Okay, the chairman of Free Legal Assistance Group. Attorney Joel Nanyes de la Cruz had an interview with Attorney Chel, and that is what is part of this book. Okay, so you realize, ayan, nasa plastic pa. Okay, for some authors, they might have already received their copy. Okay, so this is the latest issue na lumabas. At kapag binuksan nyo, you have actually options. No, you could order a colored content or a black and white content. Kapag colored yung content, more or less ganito yung format na makikita nyo. Although you could have it also in a black and white. The good thing is they are all in a glossy paper, quality paper. Okay, so and those who will be publishing, you will have a copy of this and a certificate of publication. Our latest issue, okay, Ma'am Nancy, Ma'am Tin, and other Doc Georgine, Doc Joy, Ma'am Bragasina, and other regional coordinators, they are still actually gathering issues for copies for this. Okay, this is for our regular issue. Please know that we have also our special issues. Okay, if you know the details, you can contact us later on. Now, for our latest issue, this will be until the end, after this week, until this week. No, you could pass until this week. We have Dr. Kagnas Inan, okay, they pronounce it Shagnas or Shagdas, from Nami Kimal University, is a good friend of ours. We met in 2017 in Malaysia. Now, if you want to publish here, you could scan here and then inform us who actually invited you, or you can just contact straight to our marketing staff. Okay. To those marketing staff who are with us, please comment in our chat box so that they can contact you. Then we have our outcomes-based capacity building training like these, seminars, and virtual and face-to-face webinars. For the past 2 years, we've been doing research talks for senior high school students and teachers. This is free. That with actually, ginawa namin to nung pasimula yung pandemya for teachers who are doing research, teaching research. You could actually look at these sessions in our YouTube channel. No? Pwede nyo magamit kapag kayo nagtuturo ng research or for your personal use. Naka-assign to per different topic like the nature inquiry of research, how to collect data through observation and interview, so on and so forth. Punta lang kayo sa YouTube channel, Beyond Books Publication. Okay? So makikita nyo yung mga lectures na yan. These are some of our, I presented this already, some of our authors. Okay? No, now some of the books I presented earlier na ngayon ay libro na, dati sabi ko call for authorship. We have, if you realize, we have professors from general biology to, for example, we have professors from Mindanao State University, Sulu, no, from MSU. Then from senior high school of MSU, from Velis College in Cebu, okay, and also from Palawan, okay, and the other one here we have for participatory research design, we have Dr. Sonny as part of the author, Dr. Lourdes Basconia from Central Bicol State University, Davao City National High School, Ma'am Karen, okay, Sir Albert Pagadora, okay, a school head from Tamsion Primary School, okay, Sir Rini Rabacal also from Central Bicol, Ma'am Anne Maria Ann Faustino from Palau Elementary School, First International Computer Technology Colleges from Giginto, Bulacan, from Sir DeFeo. Dr. Joy. So these are some of the books, no? So we have, you realize, a composition of research and science books. Now, if you want to become the next published author, call us right away, okay? Or message us with that contact number. These are the books for co-authorship. Now, if you want and plan to become a co-author here, all you have to do is to become a member of this group and then write a chapter, and then the rest will be discussed in a group chat. So message us, no? For those who are teaching, for example, food and beverage services, or business mathematics, or business ethics and social responsibility, general physics, ito yung mga ongoing na hindi pa tapos. So pwede pa rin kayong mag-co-author. Message us. Marketing management, although may kagaya na nito si Dr. Sokinya, but you could have your other version. Introduction to Philosophy of the Human Person, so those who are teaching senior high. Practical Research 1, we could make another copy of this. Applied Economics. Ito yung mga sinabi ko. Ano bang makukuha mo kapag mag-co-author ka. That one, okay? You become a published author, you can be promoted and 100% revenue. I will be discussing that later on, okay? So innovative classroom. So ito naman mga innovation. Kailangan mo lang mag-share ng article dito about your innovative strategy sa classroom. Pwede naman yung nabigay mo na sa DepEd, no? You could just write them into an article, not the whole innovation that you submit. So as mentioned, pwedeng relationship matters, staying faithful amidst temptation. Ito mga challenges ng married life. Family, ito naman yung mga family practices. And of course, for single but happy, what makes you happy? No? The perks of being single. Also, other books are for co-authorship. Ito iba yung arrangement naman ito. No? You could just tell us later on. The last two books are already published. Ang naiwan na lang for publication is how to write your dissertation using, if I'm not mistaken, qualitative and mixed method. But this one are not yet published. No, Philippine Indigenous Teaching Profession, Understanding the Self, that the Principles of Teaching. I was informed that the title was already changed as per CHED memorandum. We also do local and international multidisciplinary research conference. Okay, so as you will realize later on. So we had this in partnership with Indonesia, okay, with Al-Azhari Mandar University with Dr. Muthmainnah. We had this last March in 2022, okay, in Indonesia virtually. Okay, these are our resource speakers. Now, ito yung mga sinabi ko na mga libro sa pananaliksik with Dr. Reggie Cruz. Si Dr. Reggie ay dati siyang assistant principal in Schools Division Office of San Fernando. Now, kasama na siya ni Professor Bacolod, but in different campus. Dr. Reggie is now the Dean of College of Education and the Arts in National University in Bulacan. So siya yung sinasabi ko, yung mga authors natin were promoted to deanship. Okay? This one is international conference face-to-face. We did this, kung napansin nyo yung date, in 2019. We do this in Ho Chi Minh. Although another group actually was in Tai Nguyen University in Tai Nguyen. But we do it so dalawang venue. No, first 2 days in Tai Nguyen, second day, the next 2 days in Ho Chi Minh. And there are several participants who went there. Some of them are Filipino, okay? But some of them are from Singapore. We have friends here from Bohol, from Bulacan, from Pampanga. Okay, this is their national library, if I'm not mistaken. So we had a picture there. After the conference, we do the tour. This one, we had this this is not anymore in Ho Chi Minh, but we do this in Singapore, in Hotel Grand Pacific in May of 2019. So bago pa ito magpandemya. In partnership with Ascendance Asia Singapore. Okay, we had it also. So we had with us our keynote speaker from India. Okay, if you could see. And with us here is the Assistant Schools Division Superintendent of Den Pampanga. Now, she is the Assistant Schools Division Superintendent in Bulacan. Maam Rowena Kiambao. She is my ninang in kasal, no, in wedding. We also had one in Greece last September in 2021 in Athens, Greece with Rania Lampu. That's why she's been very loyal to us also. She will be joining us on the second day. Okay, we also won in Colorado last December of 2021. Now in 2023, we will have a face-to-face in the US if you are interested. Okay, with Ma'am Shinit Kunanan. She's the president of Colorado Global School and the vice president of BBP in Colorado. Okay. Now, last June 25, okay, we had our awarding of Huwarang Guro and Global Leaders and Educators Award in Century Hotel in Angeles. Okay, that's the venue. Okay, so some might be nostalgic. Those pictures in the circles were actually in the pool where there is actually a buffet. Okay, dinner buffet. ito yung nagiging program, okay, sa loob pag binuksan mo yung magazine are the names and pictures of our awardees. So those who will be joining us in Kingsford Hotel, okay, you are welcome. Ito ang nangyari, okay, this is the virtual interview of our awardees. Okay? So we did this prior to the announcement of top 10 per category. You would realize there was one even from here, Dr. Lamanya is during that time from Abu Dhabi, if I'm not mistaken. But now he is in Thailand. Okay? And some familiar faces. So alam ko nandyan kayo. You could see your faces there. Okay. Dr. Muthmainnah is already in my chat. So mukhang nandyan na siya. So to our staff, allow Dr. Muthmainnah to be part later on. Now, this is our photo opportunity. Okay. So this is during the awarding in Century Hotel. So if you could see our awardees at the middle, and then the awarding here, we also awarded best in Filipiniana attire, both male and female, best in long gown, okay, best in formal gown, formal attire, so on and so forth. Okay, and the other pictures. Okay, so if you could see, here we have our marketing. Ma'am Nancy is there, Ma'am Tin. They were actually awarded as the most productive marketing staff of Beyond Books Publication. We also did the display of the books we publish. We will also do that in Kingsford Hotel. That is why, okay, this is now an invitation. Initially, we are supposed to have it in Hotel Gen Shangri-La, but kung nakikita nyo sa announcement, they called up actually that they will be closing by September. So we decided to change the venue. Now we will be having it in Kingsford Hotel, Manila. And this is the hotel, if you could see. Ito ay sa gitna ng Okada and Soler. So medyo, this is a 4-star hotel. Okay, so we will have there. And you have the option later on if you have to stay over in the hotel. In the email, we provided you options of the hotel. One ride lang siya, mga 5 to 6 minutes away from Kingsport. Pero mas mura yung hotel. So if you just want to go there during the event and you want to stay, actually yung mga nakita namin, Professor Bacolod na mga hotel malapit sa iyo, malapit sa MOA. So it's December. Remember December 4? This is December 4, so po pwede na kayong magpasama kay Professor Bacolod pumunta sa MOA during the free time. Okay? So you can have it there. Okay, so these are some of our nominees. And if you want to be part, okay, as mentioned, coordinate with our President, Authors and Writers Guild, Professor Bacolod. You can message us or you can message our marketing coordinators, Ma'am Nancy, Ma'am Tin, Malto. You can also message our regional coordinators. You could message Doc Joy, okay, prior, Ma'am Georgine, Dr. Cinder, and other marketing. Or you can just message us straight to Beyond Books Publication. Just tell us your coordinators. And initially, we already received several regional advisories for this event. No, this one is from Region 10, but we have already from other regions. Okay, my apologies, medyo naghang lang ng konti yung aking computer. Okay, thank you. Now, I'll go straight to why publish. Okay. Before that, I would like to differentiate what's the difference between traditional and self-publishing. Beyond Books Publication is a traditional publishing. But when you use it for ranking and promotion or professional development, it doesn't matter. Okay, regardless if it's traditional or self-publishing. But I want to see you the perks of publishing in a self-publishing. Traditional publishing, it says here, if you are publishing, if the publishing company decides to publish your book, okay, they will buy the copyright. So sa kanila na yung copyright, and the author will get only a certain percentage of the royalty. Doon sa kita, bibigyan nila kayo ng porsyento doon sa kikitain. Which is very different in a self-publishing like BBP. Kay BBP, yung kikitain nyo, 100% of that will go to you. So an author submits a manuscript to a publishing house with the hope that they will be picked up and published. The publishing house then puts up the money to design. So dito sa traditional, siyempre gagastusan yun ni company. So siguraduhin niya quality yung libro mo. Kaya pag bagito ka at hindi masyado nila nagustuhan yung manuscript mo, hindi ka makapag-publish. In self-publishing, the publication of the book by the author of the book with or without the involvement of the third party. Sa self-publishing kasi, pwede naman kayo mag-publish na kayo lang. Kaso lang, hindi kayo bibigyan ng National Library ng ISBN kapag hindi kayo publisher. Okay? So ito yung mga unang libro. So na-realize, no, this is, if you want to know me better, this is my first book, no? Beyond the Four Corners. Actually, inspiration yan ng Beyond Books publication. Okay, you will know my story. Okay, my humble beginning, so on and so forth. Then, and the others, no? With self-publishing, the author retains all the rights to his or her book. So we don't get the copyright for the book. So you still own the copyright. We just stipulate some provisions in the contract. So you will receive a certificate of publication, okay, from the company and a copy of your book. Okay. So ISBN basically is 13-digit number that identifies your book. So ito yung mukha ng ISBN. And normally required ito if you want to use your book for publication. Okay, so ang ibig sabihin ng ISBN is here. You could just grab a screenshot if you know the meaning of the numbers. Okay, so ang mahalaga dyan ay yung na malalaman kung sino yung nagpa-publish. For example, this one, 08989, ito yung publication. Okay. So the international standard number for books does not provide information on all versions. Okay. However, for ISSN, okay, or international standard serial number, comprise only of 7 digits followed by a check digit, yung dulong isang number. Ito naman ay ginagamit kapag ang ipapublish mo ay regular in sequence like magazine, journal, newspaper, databases. So sa magazine, ang ISSN pare-parehas sa lahat ng authors kasi per magazine. For the book, per book siya. Okay, per author. Okay? So the copyright, you know that it's the ownership of your work. Okay? And normally, nakikita yan sa copyright page. Kapag kayo nagpa-publish niya, makikita niya Philippine copyright, nakalagay dyan kung anong year, the name. Okay? Copy editor, the one who do the editing, you could have it yourself, or you could ask others, or you could ask the company. Sa digital printing, normally caters only a number of copies. Okay? For offset printing naman, pag maramihan. Okay? So sa offset printing, they will start printing your book if you want to reproduce about 500 to 1,000 copies. And then later on, for example, nakapag-publish na kayo, you could do actually print on demand. Sabihin mo, Sir Doy, kailangan ko 100 copies lang, 50 copies lang. You do that. Okay? Others could do it even one book, but that's a little bit costly kasi isi-shoulder mo lahat ng expenses. Yung spine, kapag nilagay mo yung libro, okay, like this for example, makikita mo ito yung spine, just like that. Nakalagay lang dyan yung title at saka yung author. Now, what is, I'll do this very quick, no? What is the benefit of publishing a book? Okay, one, to build a personal brand. Okay, so if you're a leader, a consultant, a CEO, for example, an owner of a company, or a speaker of upcoming professional in your line of work, authoring a book can establish you as a thought leader in your industry. So if you're talking about research, so your book, for example, in my case, I have published my dissertation, Enhancing and Promoting Research Productivity. Gumawa ako ng Capulso productivity model in the book. So if you want to enhance your research productivity, you read my book. So you have your personal brand. So for example, Dr. Arthur wrote about marketing management. Here, that's a personal brand. Okay? Also, it enables you to leave a legacy. The book that you publish lives on forever, even after you. Totoo yan. Lahat ng mga nag-publish kay BBP ng libro, your copies of your book are now in the National Library. So kahit wala na tayo, yung libro na sinulat nyo nandun pa din. So you can go now to the National Library and look for your book. And bring your kids there, okay, in the National Library and said, do you want to see my book? It's here, okay? To advance your career. Totoo, writing a book builds immense credibility for you and makes you an expert in your domain. It sets you apart from the rest of the crowd. 2 years ago, I was a teacher too, but before I was promoted as master teacher, and that's one of the reasons why I was promoted, my book, of course, my research publication. Yung mga nakasama ko doon, kanina binanggit ni Ma'am Joy, no? With all modesty, I was hailed as the most outstanding teacher in Pampanga out of 50,000 teachers, and later on ranked 2 in the region. And because of that, I was recognized by the Civil Service Commission in Dangal ng Bayan. What actually makes me different from the rest of the people there is that I have my book. Okay, it builds and it advances your career. Okay, it makes you apart from them. Lahat kasi mga doktor na din, kalamitan sa kanila mga master teacher, ako lang yung teacher too. So sometimes that could also advance your career. And of course, lalong-lalo na ngayon, no? With the new guidelines of the Department of Education for promotion, okay, mayroon ng teacher 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, kaya nga hindi mo na kailangan maging principal para maging kahanay mo siya ng sahod. But doon, nakastipulate na malaki yung puntos ng publication and advanced studies. Okay, so depending on the region you are in. So lalong-lalo na kapag ito ay sole authorship. So for example, there, ito lang, no? It stipulates there the points that you will get for publication, articles published in a journal, newspaper, magazine of wide circulation. Yung ating magazine umaabot na sa Mexico. Yung ating magazine ay umaabot na sa Thailand, umaabot na sa US. Okay? Then sole authorship of the book or co-authorship of the book. Okay, so these are just the criteria. I got this from 2019 DepEd Guidelines for Master Teachers Promotion. Okay, DepEd Order 29, Series of 2002, and other guidelines for that matter. Okay, I will not elaborate that. And number 4 is to spread an idea. Okay, a book can be a powerful way to spread an idea to the rest of the world. For example, the book of Muthmainnah. Okay, Muthmainnah is actually a finalist in Metrobank Outstanding Teachers. They wrote about Ibong Adarna. They wrote about script, no, about playwright. Okay, if you have a particular idea or even a motivational book, a compilation of poems, you can put them together. Okay, or your area of specialty. Okay, you can spread your idea by writing a book. And of course, to become a best-selling author. This is one of the most obvious, but of course, ano na to? Kumbaga, last part na to ng benefit ng publishing. As much as I want to proceed, okay, but I think I have consumed much time already. Now, for some concerns, I would like to open the floor. You can just unmute yourself. I would like to recognize our plenary speaker. Our keynote speaker. I could see her already in the screen, Dr. Muthmainnah. After our, hi my friend, welcome.
Hi.
Yeah, after the question and answer, Dr. Muthmainnah will be introduced as our day 1 keynote speaker. Okay, is there any a question, clarification before we proceed? Anyone? Before we proceed to Dr. Muthmainnah, can you please open everybody, can you please open your cameras for a picture taking? We will have a picture taking every other speakers so that we know who are present. Because this will be the basis of your certificate. Only those who are in the Zoom can be given certificates. Okay? There are 800. Doc Sonny, 800 yung nag-register. But at the moment, we are only less than 100. So I don't know where are the others.
Ang nangyari, limited po ang participants natin. 100 lang po yung pwede nating accept sa Zoom. Yun po. Pero marami pong may intention pong pumasok po sa ating webinars. Yun nga lang po, 100 lang po ang limited.
Oh, I regret to know that. Let us fix after this. I'll talk with the staff. Maybe we could just do this live later on. Okay. So can everybody now open your, can we stop sharing first? Stop sharing. Who is sharing the screen so that we could have a picture taking? Okay, everybody, please. One, please look at the camera. Open your camera. Everyone. 1, 2. One more. Okay. Next pane. 1, 2. One more. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Thank you. Back to you, Dr. Sonny.
Baka na ano nila din na mute lang nila.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc Leonilo Capulso, for that wonderful discussion. And now, our participants have the idea how to publish, how to be part of the Beyond Books publication. Alam niyo po, it's a simple testimony. This Beyond Books publication will help us a lot in our professional growth, especially in our rankings. Kaya wag nyo na pong patagalin kung sakaling meron po kayo mga articles and you have this different researches, please, we are here to help you, for you to publish your researches, your works in Beyond Books publication. Journal. At this moment, it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you our keynote speaker. She is an assistant professor at Universitas Al-Sharia Mandar West, Sulawesi, Indonesia. She is a lecturer, a global speaker, and international leader. Some of her achievements at her university, she was the chairman of the Indonesian language department at teacher training and education faculty. She was also the public relation at her university and the director of Women's Center Studies and deputy director of the Quality Assurance Unit also in her university. Now, she is a deputy director of Language and Character Development Institute in the same university, and the current year she is active as international member of International Coordinator Conference and international trainer. She is also as International Board of Professors and expert of scientific innovation at Egypt, at www.cirg Club, International Board of PEFL, Kuwait, a member of large representing ASEAN, and she is also a country head, ambassador, and country director for many international organizations representing Indonesia. She is also has an excellent experience as a visiting professor to lecture on ICT, technology and education, a research method, education management, and empowerment women, and also an entrepreneurship, teaching, research and development, and many other topics relevant to ICT research and teacher development at SDGs for quality education and quality enhancement in higher education at many universities. She is the winner of many more than 100 plus awards in the world, such as Outstanding Professor, Outstanding Leadership, Best in International Influencer, Best in Emerging Professor of the Year, International Award for Working Women, Best Speaker, and SDGs Warrior, Best in Global Outstanding Educational Innovation, etc. She is also on the board of International Journal and blind reviewer of Q1 Journal. Her international achievement as Doctor honoris causa from Layahi University and Doctor of Excellence, an award equivalent in principle of credentials, education, and contribution of the person with all the privileges and honors appertained to it from Philippines, an honoris causa. She is also a member of the United Nations Volunteers Roster. She is on the advisory board of Indonesian Education Share to Careful Volunteers. Her interest in her doctorate area is developing instructional material. Asori, TEFL, ICT in Education, Digital Education, and Cybergogy. She is ready for international collaborations and teamwork. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome our plenary speaker, no other than Dr. Muthmainnah. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hai, apa kabar? Selamat pagi, mabuhay. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are healthy and happy today. So before I start, thank you so much to the moderator for introduce my little bit my profile, and then to the organizing committee, of course, Beyond Book Publication, the founder and CEO, my friend, Dr. Leonilo B. Capulso. Actually, this is our international collaboration, and then this is a regular event that we are actually organized together to support the people in the world. So I have shared to you on the chat my Google form. I hope you can participate and then fill the form to know what is actually your opinion, your satisfaction about this change education. So yeah, allow me to share my screen. I still cannot. I'm disabled to share my screen. Okay, on the Google form, I hope you can participate, and then we will identify and know what is actually because right now, you know, we are familiar with the distance education, remote teaching, that all of will be presenting on my presentation today. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, moderator have presenting about myself. My name is Muthmainnah. You can call me Nina. Yeah, this is my international and national organization and also my research ID. Feel free to visit and cite my research over there. Yeah. Before we are going to talk and discuss about playing virtual reality or artificial intelligence on education, let me share to you the condition today. And until now in Indonesia, we are still have to be adapt with this new experience, how to inject it artificial intelligence in education. What about Indonesian education transformation until today? What about how we manage our smart digital classroom management, the cybergogy, this is the grand theory, or the supporting theory when we are integration between pedagogy and the technology, and also digital vaccine. So this is the highlight issue that I want to share to you, and also how to connect it with my in my country, the condition in my country education today. Yeah. When we talk about digital transformation on educational sector, I think right now we are still be adapt, and then this is the new habit, new culture for us, and we are familiar like remote teaching, virtual classroom, distance education, and then what about VR implementation, ICT in our curriculum and in our classroom, whatever the condition, like in my university, actually this is depend on the student condition. When they wanna be online, so of course we will be manage our classroom in online. So when they wanna in the university, in the classroom face to face, of course we are in face to face. So this is come back with student need, because I'm teaching in higher university, in higher education or university. So that's why the student voice and the student choice, this is more or very, very important. So to manage our classroom, when we wanted to manage our classroom, yeah, even we have namely LMS, learning management system, but totally we still have so many challenges, like in my university, about how we are designing our content, our material into the LMS with the interaction, with good interaction, good feedback to our student in LMS. But unfortunately, this still we have so many challenges to do that, because most of educators, they are organized their classroom in the online or in LMS. This is the same interaction with face-to-face. So this is why we have to do more training for education, because when we manage our classroom face-to-face and in the online, this is a very different. So the interaction to the student need to be more simple and more easy to understand, because this is we are in online. And then of course when we are manage our classroom in LMS or online, of course we need to be how we are combine or collaborate so many application, or what about when we are wanted to ice breaking, and then what about when the core activities, and then in the last activities, we hope everything we can be integration, or by using the technology or application. So this is the challenge, because a little bit this is make the educator confused and then difficult to manage their classroom, both in online or by LMS. So that's why most of them feel comfortable not by using LMS itself, but they manage with their familiar application, their familiar technology, like a Google Classroom, or by using WhatsApp. I don't know, because yeah, maybe in LMS that so many make them the content in the LMS so little bit make them maybe not confused, but still difficult to or let me say, this is we are still not adapt how to use this LMS itself. Yeah, of course, about to manage our classroom, to manage our classroom into active, how to make the student more active in the classroom, mean that here we are implementation, namely student-centered learning approach. So as educator, we must be understanding about the cyberbullying. This is one of the theory. I know that there are many theory that will be supporting us how we are combined between pedagogy and the technology. But in the cyberbullying, this is not only talking about the technology itself, how we are use technology in our classroom, but of course also how we have responsibility, how we are help our student to increase their metacognitive skill. I think this is a very important thing about the metacognitive skill, because right now we are in the society 5.0, and then we are in industry revolution 5.0 of course we should be support the ways the student thinking and also the educator, the teacher or the lecturer thinking most of to be more creative and to do the innovation. Yeah, this is, I think, maybe we say this is very simple, but actually the implementation in real classroom, a little bit we have so many challenges to do that, but we can do that. So my topic, I want to tell you about playing with artificial intelligence, or yeah, maybe artificial intelligence and virtual reality. This is the same core, the main core of the technology today to pursue the 21st century skill. This is a very important. So our menu today, I want to share to you, there are three why we do need 21st century skill. And then what about how we are manage our interaction, interactional design, or our interaction in the classroom into the blended learning, or maybe in hybrid or hyperplex learning environment. And also the last about what about the student satisfaction, the effectiveness of the this technology, or when we are doing interaction with a computer. And then I have investigating this issue in my class last semester. The first topic about why we do need a 21st century skill. Yeah, the first important thing, because right now we are connected globally. The secondly, because we must be adapt with the new work habit, like today's, we should be have namely critical thinking, or a foresee communication, doing collaboration, critical thinking, and to be creative, not only for our community, but we should be doing collaborations. We should be building up our team, our community into the global community. Like today's Beyond Books publication community will be doing so many collaboration with another community in the world, in Europe, in America, in Asia, in UK, United Kingdom, for example. So the first thing also we must be understanding and remember about the classification in the 21st century skill. Sometimes we just stress it or underline that a 21st century skill, this is only about the 4C or the 5C here, like doing communication, doing collaboration, critical thinking, creative, and computational thinking. But also this is covered with the literacy skill itself, about how we are having a good skill in information, communication, and technology, media and technology. And the last about the life skill, we should be, we are in the society 5.0, so we should be understanding. We must be adapt with this condition. We must be flexibility, and we must be adaptability with the so many change around us until today, because everything right now so fast. So leadership and responsibility, this is also very important. Initiative and self-direction and cross-cultural interaction, I think this is also a very important thing when we want to be connected globally. About the leadership, because we are as educator, of course, we are a leader. We have our student, we manage our classroom. We are a leader in our class, for example. Let me check again about the 21st century skill. Based on my research, I cannot be giving recommendation to all of you that If you have only one of these skill, like or only one, the core of 20% is skill actually critical thinking. If you have this critical thinking, of course, you will be having a good communication, having good collaboration, and also you can be doing creativity and innovation. So that's why related to the cybergogic theory, that metacognitive skill, this is also very, very important. Then how to boost the student metacognitive skill? Of course, we should be training them how to practice their critical thinking. So we are, as educator, we have responsibility to playing to boost or to increase the student critical thinking by we are designing and developing our creativity in the our activities in the classroom to be more, make them more doing creativity. And then yeah, of course, this is related to the student-centered learning approach. Well, the first thing, so the second one that you must be understanding before we are how we will be to increase the student metacognitive skill and also related to the 20% skill. This is the table just for example that we must identify and we must know the student condition. So this is the example if you wanted to manage your classroom, your activities, and combine between life skill, the student life skill, and the 20% skill. Of course, the first you must know this is just for example. You can be adapt and read some of the literature or the theory that support about this, how we are connected between life skill and 20% skill with the student, with our student. This is just for example, the dimension of self. We know that the student condition, they must understanding and accepting self. So the core skill, this is about self-awareness, decision-making, problem-solving, managing emotion, and empathy. How then we can manage to the 20% skill? Of course, in this age, the student, we can building up to increase their social skill, their critical thinking, their communication, information, and technology or media literacy. And of course, the learning outcome, we can be having our student, they can be demonstrate and express their comfort, comfort all aspect of their personality. This is just only for example, and you can be identify and also doing classification, and then you can giving this input to your how to say, to your activities in the classroom. So the first question, how we can be identify, maybe sometime me myself or you are here in the participant, or you are a lecturer or a teacher, you claim, yeah, I am 21st century teacher or lecturer. I am 21st century educator. Of course, I manage my classroom and doing and I manage activities. I organize my classroom activities, my lesson plan related to the 21st century skill. But sometimes we do in the classroom. This is not related to the 21st century skill, our activities. Let me see, this is the example. When you are integrating this 21st century skill into your learning and teaching process, we can be observation with the 3 indicators in academic, in social, and in civic. So in academic, of course, we know that this is about the student learning skill. They must be doing communication, demonstrate the student ability, the student have problem solving, and utilize a technology. But how when we are manage our classroom, we have a big classroom. Of course, yeah, we know that technology will help us to manage our classroom to be more practice, effective, and efficient. But sometimes we have the problem in the classroom. For example, in my classroom, I have a 45 student, but only a 7 or 10 student active doing communication in the classroom. So totally this is not significant when we are having our observation related to the student academic. So in the social, the student can having their social collaboration and demonstrate their adaptability. Like in my classroom, I'm asked my student to do collaboration because we are in the pandemic situation. We are practice physical distancing and the social distancing. You cannot do the teamwork. You cannot be have your group. And then they are working their project. But you see that my student, you know, we are physical distancing and the social distancing. They think that when they are doing collaboration, they must meet face to face. So that's why this is still have miscommunication or misunderstanding about the building up collaboration. Like today, we are doing collaboration even we are in the virtual, but my student, they have comfortable doing collaboration when they are meet physically with their friend. So I think this is still show the student still low demonstrate their adaptability about how we are doing collaboration, building community with the that here building up our virtual community. Yeah, this is just for example. So the last in the civic, yeah, of course we have we hope our student or all of here we are participant. I think we can be participate as a member local, global, and digital society. And then we are lucky beyond books publication have accommodate us to be participate as a global community, global digital society. Yeah. This is the 5 Ks 21st century skill and behavior that the teacher need to think, and Indonesia still have yeah, how to say, I don't know what about in Philippines or in another country, but unfortunately in Indonesia we are still having so many challenge and issue about this behavior that we know that the educator still having teacher center learning, teacher center approach. So we do really hope that the educator also have not only practice the solo or the single activities in the classroom, and also learning is no longer a passive anymore. I think I don't know what about in Philippines, but in Indonesia we still have so many challenge and issue about this teacher behavior. Even we are in the 21st century skill, but still doing conventional, not related to the 21st century skill. So we understanding about the benefit technology in education, but very yeah, how to say again, unfortunately in my country when we are come back to school, most of educators still not allow the student to use a mobile phone or technology in the classroom when we are face to face. I mean that here They are not practice blended learning or hyperplex learning environment anymore. They just thinking, we use this technology when we are online. When we are face to face, no more smartphone anymore. I'm very sad about this condition, but in fact, this is in reality in my university. This is still happening until right now. Yeah, we hope Indonesia having this our hybrid learning environment, but when the COVID gone, the technology also gone. I think this is not good condition. So the second about how we are manage and designing our interactional related to the blended learning. The first thing you must understanding about your learning strategy. What is the technology that you wanted to combine in your classroom, and then about your learning outcome. This is the example of research that also you can be used the how to say the interactional design. One of by using a sure model. Why a sure? This is a very important because this is a sure support the student higher order thinking skill, doing collaboration and doing innovation in the classroom. Assure, this is the acronym from analyze learner, state objective, select method, media and material, utilize media material, require learner participation, and in the end of the semester, we can doing evaluation or reflection. So when you manage, you wanna to designing your activities in the classroom. Of course, you must listening your student voice and your student choice. This is not from a teacher. I want give you today the material. For example, like in my classroom, I'm teaching English. Today we wanna we have our material, for example, a present tense. So you must read this book, blah, 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 and something like that. But we ask the student, what is you want? What is you need? So what is your lack? So after we analyze and identify, most of Indonesian students, they are not confident to speak. And also they wanna the material, not only the teacher as a single solo in the classroom, giving presentation or giving a presentation of the material or something like that, but they want to be combined with the video by from YouTube. So we can be use YouTube, and then they can be have good experience with their native speaker, because the video and the comprehensive material, this is from YouTube, for example. But this is not replace us as educator, as a teacher, or as a lecturer in this classroom, because this is we just combine our material with YouTube, not only depend everything the student listening and watching on YouTube. So this is just for example. Sorry. So one of when you wanted to select the method, your method, your material, this is related to the funtainment or edutainment theory. When you are use a film, when you are use song or advertisement, this is related to the edutainment or funtainment. So for example, that I have shared to you about I use YouTube video. This is related to the edutainment or funtainment theory. And then in this entertainment, edutainment, education and entertainment together, not only by using YouTube or so many application, Pinterest, or use Instagram or Facebook or social media, but also when you are combine your classroom with game, also this is come back to the edutainment or funtainment theory. This is just the key point of when you are manage your classroom with the digital pedagogy. Oh, sorry. And then this is my article have launching in the magazine of Beyond Books. So you can access and you can read. This is about framing future education through funtainment. I hope Leonilo, Dr. Leonilo will share to you the magazine that I have launching my article about the funtainment. And also this is my classroom when I had giving them the interactional, the activities by using song, YouTube, game, film, song. And then they are believe the student after they are have experience with this funtainment or edutainment, they feel that they foresee or the 20% learning skill have good as positive. They have positive response. They are increase their communication skill, collaboration skill, critical thinking, and creative, to be creative and doing innovation. So the last about investigating human computer interaction in the classroom. This is just want to share to you my experience when I combine and collaborate so many platform in the classroom. Why so many? Because we hope the student have many experience, and then also they can be practice these some of the platform of the technology for their next in when they are become a teacher. So this is why we should be change the way we are teaching, the way we are learning, because right now our students, they are different. They are the Gen Z. They are familiar with the technology, but even they are familiar with the technology, but sometimes the student they still have low skill about their meta cognitive skill. I'm sorry, I have problem with my PPT. Wait, allow me to share you again. So this is the last little bit. Yeah. This is my research, my study about the student. What about the student? How to connect it? The student when the student have interaction between the computer and their cognitive, because sometimes we know that there are so many also research that supporting about when we use this game, for example, just the student having fun, not get not have good or excellent in their cognitive. But I don't know, but in my research that everything support that actually the student totally have positive response, and also it will be help them to increase their skill, their competence. They are doing collaboration, doing innovation in the blended learning environment. This is for a blended. Yeah. This is the student. They are confident to having to show their performance. I'm sorry, I have bad connection. This is the video. I think I hope this is play. Can it be play or not? Sorry. This is my classroom when they are practiced by using virtual reality, also artificial intelligence in the classroom. I don't know. I have bad connection. This is cannot be playing. Totally. Yep. Oh, sorry. So the last, not only in the classroom, but sometimes the student, they wanna be outdoor. So we learning and teaching in outdoor environment. Why I'm doing this? Yeah, because my student want. So everything we facilitate what is the student want, what is the student need. So thank you for having me and listening to me all. My PPT not working. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Hello? So yeah. Yeah, I see this is some of the comment about the Zoom capacity, yeah, because we know that the Zoom just only available for 100 people. Thank you so much. By the way, don't forget to fill the form. This is just only wanted to know your experience about this distance education. So thank you.
Okay, thank you for that meaningful topics and for sharing your knowledge, Dr. Muthmainnah. We enjoy having with you with us. Before that, I would like to present the certificate of appreciation.
Thank you so much.
Okay, before that, I would like to read the content of the certificate. Wait, wait. Later na. Okay, the content of the certificate is Macabebe, Pampanga, Philippines, Colorado, USA, Emil Dian Books Publication, contact number 639354886. Certificate of recognition is awarded to Dr. Muthmainnah, PhD, PDIMT, PD, Faculty Universitas Al Sharia, Madrid, Indonesia, for being the event, for being a for oh my god, if my Wi-Fi connection is not good.
Thank you, my dear friend, Dr. Muthmainnah. Thank you, thank
Yeah,
you.
welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Mutahamain.
By the way, don't forget to fill my form, right?
Okay, Doc.
Yeah, just want to know about your opinion about the distance education and the
My
condition
friend, we
today.
will be distributing the form to all the participants, even those who watch via Facebook Live. Because those who are not able to join us here, they are now watching Facebook Live.
Yes.
So we will also share the form. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, bye-bye. Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi, mabuhay. Thank you po.
And now we'll proceed to our next second speaker. Topic is digital pedagogy. A guide which will be presented by our second panel speaker for today's event. Let me introduce to you our speaker. She is She finished her undergraduate degree of Mindanao State University, Iligan Institute of Technology in 2008. She took Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Science, cum laude. After finishing college and passing the licensure examination teacher, she worked as marketing officer at Vistalan, Camellia Butuan for almost 2 years. She was appointed as public school teacher in 2013. She was one of the participants awarded as third best information research presenter, the ASEP Association of Science Educators in the Philippines, 17th National Science Quest 2019 in Baguio City. She was hailed as Region 9 Best Online Distant Learning Implementer during the New Normal Education 2020. She was also to finish Master of Arts in Secondary Education in Pema Cagayan de Oro College. She is continuously writing action research and basic research. She is also passionate in writing manuals, modules, and other related materials that will help to public school teacher in teaching science, as well as help in assisting teachers develop their skills in ICT, research, and break up gap between theory and practice. She is Maam Linden Evangelista.
So throwing up with a video to have a broader view on what is digital pedagogy all about. So we have here the living generations explained. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 generations, the greatest generations, silent generations, boomers, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, and Alpha. So every one of us here belongs to a certain generation depending on what year we are born. So let us have a short overview. The greatest generations are born in 1901 to 1927. Their age bracket belongs to 94 to 120 years old. Silent generations, they are born in 1928 to 1945 and their age bracket belongs to 76 to 93 years old. Baby boomers, they are born in 1946 to 1964. Their age bracket belongs to 57 to 75 years old. Generation X, they are born in 1965 to 1980 and their age bracket belongs to 41 to 56 years old. Millennials, they are born in 1981 to 1996. Their age bracket belongs to 25 to 40 years old. Generation Z, this where our learners, our majority belongs to. They are born in 1997 to 2012. Their age bracket belongs to 9 to 24. And the Generation Alpha, they are born in 2013 to 2024. And their age bracket belongs to the below 8 years old. So we have the characteristics of different generations. For the greatest, they are disciplined, determined, and resilient. For the silent, they are traditional, patient, and responsible. For the baby boomers, they are competitive, confident, and sociable. Generation X, they are independent, skeptical, flexible. For the millennials, they are risk-taker, ambitious, and self-centered. Generation Z, they are very creative, open-minded, and sensitive. Generation Alpha, they are logical, objective, and self-aware. And these are the car, toys, and music devices in different generations. So this, in the greatest, Oldsmobile Dash, Yo-Yo, and Piano Roll, Silent Generation, Ford Model T, Slinky, and Radio. Baby Boomers, they have their Ford Mustang, Frisbee, and record player. X, Holden Commodore, Rubik's Cube, and Walkman. Sa millennials, Toyota Prius, Beyblade, and iPad. Generation Z, Honda S2000, Bakugan, and smart speaker. Generation Alpha, Tesla Cybertruck, fidget spinner, and AirPods. Greatest Generation's hairstyles. Silent Generation. Baby Boomers. Generation X. Millennials. Generation Z. Generation Alpha. For the greatest generation idols, Charlie Chaplin, Gloria Swanson, and F. Scott Fitzgerald. So these are the famous idols. Silent, Elvis Presley, Marilyn Monroe, and James Dean. Baby Boomers, they have their John Lennon, Mick Jagger, and Bob Dylan. Generation X, they have their Michael Jackson, Madonna, and Kurt Cobain. Millennials, they have their Beyonce, Justin Bieber, and Taylor Swift. Generation Z, Jungkook, Lisa, and Billie Eilish. Generation Alpha, Ryan Kaji, Anastasia Radzenskaya, a Brooklyn Prince. For the cartoons, Felix the Cat, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Mickey Mouse in the Greatest Generation. Silent, they have their Donald Duck, Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny. Baby Boomers, they have the Flintstone, Pink Panther, and Winnie the Pooh. Then, Generation X, they have their Scooby-Doo, Doraemon, and Garfield. Millennials, Simpsons, SpongeBob SquarePants, and Sonic the Hedgehog. So as we go further, in every generations, they have their own interest. They have their unique drawings, and they have different characteristics. So let us go to how about the prime years of the greatest generations. They have the Greatest Depression, World War II, and the invention of television. For the silent, JFK assassination, moon landing, and Vietnam War. The baby boomers starts with the invention of PC, internet, and gaming. Then, Generation X, the rise of the cell phones and the 9/11 attack. The millennials, invention of iPhone, the rise of social media, and the COVID-19 pandemic. And the Generation Z, the rise of virtual reality. as you noticed, they have different highlights in every year. So Generation Alpha, electric cars domination, the fall of oil industry, and the first human on Mars. So notice how our generation's interests and characteristics are changing. Our learners, students and pupils are changing. With that, let us help them to be productive and accepted by changing as well our educational approaches. Our learners are technologically inclined. Our resources are going digital. As a fellow educator, it is high time to note that our educational approaches as well develop into something compatible to the interests and characteristics of our learners. And this welcomes us to digital pedagogy. So what is digital pedagogy? So we have encountered the term pedagogy. It is the basis of our profession, and most of us have an idea in our mind of what is an effective pedagogy is in our every classroom. So pedagogy is the study of being a teacher and the process of teaching. There has been much research and speculation about the use of computers in our classrooms, and technology has often been viewed as a tool to assist both teachers and the students. But is that all? So research has shown that we learn differently and engage in different types of knowledge creation when we use technology. So when we say we have different types of learning or types of knowledge creation, we are talking about those multiple intelligences that we have studied or we have encountered as we go with our teaching pedagogy. Like for example, our students have this spatial, others are intrapersonal, others are interpersonal, others are numerical. So that's one of the things that we are to consider in our teaching pedagogy. So technology was first viewed with great excitement by some educators as its potential was being explored. There was a lot of predictive comment made about computer replacing the teacher, which led to some negative backlash regarding incorporating technology into our classrooms. So technology has furthered shift towards more independent, student-led inquiry modes of learning. So teachers now assume the role of collaborator or moderator. So technology appears to be more than a mere tool in the classroom. It changes how and what we learn. So throwing a computer into a classroom doesn't make the learning effective. Teachers need to understand how to use technology effectively, understand the learning theories behind the practice, and know how to select the right technology for the learning outcomes we seek. So, teachers need a digital pedagogy. In simple terms, a digital pedagogy is the study of how to teach using digital technologies. So digital pedagogy may be applied to online, hybrid, and face-to-face learning environments. It has its origins in distance learning, which took the form of correspondence courses delivered by mail during the early 20th century. So the University of London offered the first distance learning degrees with its external program of 1858. Digital pedagogy is precisely not about using digital technologies for teaching. I would like to emphasize it. It is much about using digital tools thoughtfully, as it is about deciding when not to use digital tools and about paying attention to the impact of digital tools on learning. So here we have a question: why do we need a digital pedagogy? Today's students use technology. We all know that. As a matter of fact, we are using Instagram, Facebook, Flickr, Skype. So for us to be constantly connected with our friends, family, we can gather information and we do entertainment there in our technology that we are using. So technology allows us to connect with more people in more ways and more often. So the current generation seamlessly transition between their real to digital lives. So we have, if previously we have what we call as real life, now we have what we call as digital life. So educators face the constant challenge of refining teaching and learning techniques to keep up with the increasing demands and expectations of our students, whom we describe as digitally expectant. So they are expecting technology, digital always. So students expect that the teaching and learning that they will experience across their years of formal schooling will be rich in digital technologies. For their non-schooling part of their lives is already rich with digital technologies, and even we are very rich with that, since we are watching digital TV, we are listening to digital radio, we are using smartphones. Today we are doing webinars using our cell phones and computers. So social networking, digital images and editing, mashups, Xbox, Nintendos, iPads, electronic text, the list is endless. Technological skills are not the defining factor for an effective digital pedagogy. Digital pedagogy is more about an attitude towards and aptitude with digital technologies. It is more about our willingness to use them in our classroom effectively and to understand how and why they should be used. So how do we develop a digital pedagogy? Do digital pedagogies come via coursework? The simple answer to this question is no. A digital pedagogy is many things. Most importantly, it is our attitude and aptitude. Our willingness to embrace the changes that are going around our environment, our learning environment. It is our attitude to go with the flow and to accept what are those new things, so that our students, our learners can be of interest, can be motivated to what we are showing to them. So one of the hardest transitions for teachers is the move from being the expert in the class to being the co-collaborator, and digital technologies often force us to adapt this position whether we want to or not. For example, you might have decided on a particular program for the students to produce their work with, but a student in your class might suggest a different way or a different program, something you might not be familiar with. So those technologically fearless teacher, they would stop, they would listen, they would explore the suggestions with their class. But the traditional expert teacher might resist that suggestion and stick with the idea they had with the technology they know. So you see the difference. For our topic for today about digital pedagogy, I would like to end our topic with a video, and I hope we have learned a lot from this. Thank you Beyond Books for the opportunity, and a blessed day to all of us.
Okay, thank you very much for all the things you presented today, Maam, Linden, Evangelista. For today, I would like to present the certificate of the following keynote speaker for today. The certificate of recognition is awarded to Maam Linden L. Evangelista for being one of the preliminary speakers during the day one of the first international multidisciplinary webinar series of Authors and Writer Guild Beyond Books publication from August 26, 28, 2022 with the theme Rising Beyond the Pandemic, Ensuring Quality Life Towards Integral Development, given this 26th day of August 22 at Macabebe, Pampanga. The signatory of Dr. Muthmainnah, Leonilo, Capulso, Sue Bacolod, and Flo Ranta Langto. And next certificate is awarded to Dr. Leonilo P. Capulso for being one of the plenary speaker during the day one of the international webinar. And also to Dr. Muthmainnah S. PDI and PD for being the keynote speaker for today's day one first international multidisciplinary webinar series of Writers Guild Beyond Books publication. Okay, at this juncture, let's proceed the third topic, which is the risk management for student teachers. Now, let me introduce to you the third preliminaries, the keynote speaker of the day. He is a graduate of Doctor of Philosophy in Education, major in Education Administration at the Liaison of Paris, Cagayan, where he is presently teaching as part-time professor in the school. He is also present the head teacher 5 of the Western Cagayan School of Arts and Trades in charge of science engineering program. At present, he is the president of the Association of Science Educators of the Division of Cagayan. He is a recipient of various related awards. Also, he is a resource.
Jessica, please mute your microphone.
Please mute all your speaker.
Kung ang mapili sa impression sa teacher sa grade.
Various international recognized publication on topics which are related to education. He is also a national writer in the development of test for the examination of science high schools in the Philippines, and a national validator for the lesson exemplar for science, technology, and engineering STE science research. Just recently, he was internationally awarded as most proficient educator and outstanding teacher in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in the search for outstanding global educator. He is the very enthusiastic. May I welcome Dr. Joseph Inggan. Let us give him a warm of applause. Again, participant, please mute all your speakers.
Doc Joy, is the speaker around?
Doc, I think that is recorded.
Yeah. Can we have the presentation, please? Miss Kayla and Miss Irene.
All
Hi,
right, thank
sir.
you po.
Okay, wait muna tayo kasi may technical, inaayos pa ng ating, may teach difficulty. A while. So while waiting for the recorded video of our keynote speaker, I just want to remind to those participants to answer all the link for your certificate para makakuha kayo ng certificate sa third day of seminar on Sunday. Then, our venue is, change na tayo from Kingsford Hotel, four-star hotel in Manila. So, kung nasa malayo na, pwede na kayo
Good morning to everyone. I am just this morning to discuss with you stress management for students and teachers, and I believe this is considered to be a very timely topic, just because, as we all know, teachers are now experiencing stress within their field of work. It might be because there are something that bothers them with regards to how they are going to implement the new mode of learning in to this new normal, especially that we are now having the limited on-site classes for our learners. So how are we going to deal with stress management for? So let us try to define what is meant by the word stress. So stress is any type of change that causes physical, emotional, or psychic. Stress is your body's response to anything that requires. So how does stress affect teachers? So stress can develop since teachers are managing various responsibilities. Not only are responsible for the safety, well-being, and learning of the students, but also they are responsible for communication with parents, participation in the school community, and professional responsibility to the teaching authority. With this high level of relationship, there is an inherently high degree. Considering all those that are being performed by teachers inside the classroom and even outside this classroom, It is because they usually deal with the stakeholders for the development of the children or the development of the students in the school. What are now the true causes and or cost of teachers' stress? I have noted here 2, 4, 6, 7 true causes of stress to teachers. If we're going to prioritize teacher mental health, we first need to understand what factors put their well-being at risk. Teachers, of course, are considered people at first, and they face family issues, health problems, financial obligations, or other upheavals in their life like anyone else. And on top of that, they may also be considered to have struggling with very real mental health conditions like generalized anxiety disorder, depression, and some other activities. So on top of this, now we are going to consider some of these contributors that can burn teachers out fast. The first one is lack of autonomy, especially with high stakes testing. Teachers feel like they don't have the control or decision making power they need to manage what they teach and the pace at which they teach it. Second is considered the interpersonal relationships. So therefore, not only are teachers tasked with managing behavioral problems inside their classroom, but also, no, they are considered to have some added reports required to them, which added stress from handling difficult parents. The third one is unsupportive culture, wherein when teachers feel like colleagues and school administration aren't taking their concerns seriously, they don't feel like valued members of the team or like their opinion matter. Next one is resource shortages. It's not just a dearth of textbook on bookshelves. Teachers also often don't receive the tools they need to help struggling students who are struggling inside or even outside the classroom. Next is long hours. So it's not uncommon for teachers to take their heavy workload home with them. Many spend their evening hours grading papers or planning lessons rather than decompressing and practicing self-care. The second to the last one is compassion fatigue or burnout, in which we are going to consider teaching as a caring profession. In other words, it resolves around looking after others. These kinds of jobs carry emotional labor above and beyond classroom tasks and activities, which can wear teachers down over time. And last, your toxic positivity, in which teachers are expected to be patient, they are expected to be stable, they are expected to be caring and in control. But under that mask of positivity, they suppress their real. And so therefore, with all these different stressors for our teachers, it must have to be remembered that we must have to find ways in such a way that we can be able to deal with these stress levels positively. And I have noted here 3 stress management tips for you to follow. First one is you must have to set boundaries on your availability. So it's really very important to set boundaries on your time, particularly when you will be available to students and their parents outside of the school day. Plan your work hours and at the same time communicate this. For example, if your school operating hours is from 8:30 in the morning and it will end at 3:30 in the afternoon, decide when you are willing to respond to communications outside of these times. You may decide you will respond to communications up to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's really very important to set boundaries. It is because setting boundaries can be challenging, especially if you have multiple classes of students. But for your peace of mind, you must have to set boundaries on your availability. If you don't set limits to your availability, then you will probably will set expectations that you are always available to the detriment of your personal time. Then you must have to consider that each student must have to be aware that you are not expected to deal with whatever communications they want to have within the period of a day, no, for communication purposes. That therefore you must have to set um, time, and at the same time you must have to set rules and regulations very well. You must have to have clarity. It is because clarity inside the classroom, and at the same time clarity considering the instructions given to parents, and at the same time all those stakeholders, whether external or internal, brings peace. The second one is you must have to organize to save time, and at the same time you must have to reduce your stress. To reduce your stress, you must have to consider how you are going to spend your time. You may be working harder than you need to because you are not organized in certain areas of your teaching life. You must have to remember the teachers that organization is critical for helping you manage your time. And when you can save time, you can be available to do more of what you want to do. You can be able to gain control of your time by putting systems in place to help you stay on top of things. Take some time to assess the areas of your teaching life that need organizing. Are you wasting time due to clutter in your workplace? Or are you wasting time looking for teaching resources that you have not placed in an organized space? Or are you wasting time sorting through emails you haven't organized? Or do you have waste time creating subplans because you haven't pre-planned for absences due to an emergency? Or have you taken on extra work beyond your capacity? Therefore, every teacher must have to figure out the areas that need to be organized, and every teacher must have to reclaim their time. Third one is prioritize what matters most to you and your students. That is true. No, it is because it is really very important to set intentions for your teaching day. In all that you do for your students, your learners, you must have to choose to be intentional and stick to what matters most. Set goals that are realistic for the time and at the same time for the resources that you have available to you. Don't overextend yourself. And that is very important because you must have to prioritize protecting your physical and mental well-being. To achieve this, you must have to plan how you will spend time outside of work hours doing activities that help you to refocus and feel rejuvenated. You must have to choose to do activities that bring you the most joy. Remember, dear teachers, your health and well-being always matter, and that you will be a better teacher when you are operating at your best. And of course, you will be able to pour into your students when your own cup is overflowing. Remember too that your students will benefit from the investment you make in your own health. So please, no, dear teachers, remember to prioritize what matters most. Although our job as educators can be stressful, we must always have to be actively work to reduce stress. No? Therefore, stress management requires setting out of boundaries, remaining organized from time to time, and being intentional about your day. Next, the next best step for your situation to keep stress at bay and enjoy your career as an educator. The question is, how do schools can be able to address stress at the school level? course, we cannot expect teachers to shoulder the responsibility for on-the-job stress alone, nor should we expect them to fix the issue on an individual level. Though individual interventions may help teachers deal with in-the-moment stressors, organizational interventions are better equipped to stop stress first, of course, is we must have to create a supportive workplace. Because when we are going to consider a supportive workplace, it is one in which teachers have strong leadership from their school head, their principal, their TIC, or anyone who is in charge of the school, where they can be able to collaborate openly with their colleagues and where there are structures in place for well-being. Second one is we must also have to encourage mentorship, wherein teachers, especially those who are new to the profession, can benefit greatly from the experience of others who have been there before. Meaning to say, those who are teachers. Mentoring can also connect teachers across grade levels and subject areas, share insights, and of course, can be able to promote more effective communication. Third one is we must help build coping skills into professional development, wherein we must have to educate teachers on effective strategies for mental health management as part of their ongoing professional development, which sends the message that their well-being is considered to be very important. With this, no, it can also be able to help them normalize talking about mental health in the workplace. Number four, no, we must have to listen to, and at the same time, we must also have to involve teachers. So teachers know their opinions matter by giving them a seat at the decision-making table. And we must have to set time aside to listen to their concerns and work with them to find solutions to their problems. And of course, it is also really very important that we must have to show them that their voices are being heard through our own actions. And finally, we must have to provide the right resources. It is because teachers and school alike, no, or teachers and at the same time the different school staff alike can benefit from access to the different applications, to different support groups, to the websites, books, podcasts, no, and everything that discuss mental health and at the same time stress busting strategies. Not only can these resources help manage an in the moment crisis, but it can also be able to prevent a crisis from happening in the first place. Therefore, addressing teachers' mental health and the stressors that put teachers' well-being at risk can help bridge the gap while saving money for schools, improving turnover rates, boosting student outcomes, and above all, but we shouldn't only consider stress among our teachers, but we must also have to consider stress among our students. Why? It is because they might have developed stress among themselves, which is actually being brought about by the different teaching modalities. One study found out that much of high school students' stress originates from school and activities, and that this chronic stress can persist into college years and lead to academic disengagement and mental health problems. And what are these common causes of student stress? This involves school, second one is homework, extracurricular activities, social changes, transitions, relationships, and at the same time, work. High school students face the intense competitiveness of taking challenging courses, amassing impressive extracurriculars, studying and acing college placement tests, and at the same time deciding important and life-changing plans for their future. At the same time, they have to navigate the social challenges inherent to the high school experience. If college is part of a teen's plan, once they are accepted, the stress continues as they need to make new friends, handle a more challenging workload, be without parental support in many instances, and also navigate the stresses that come with more independent living. Romantic relationship always add an extra layer of potential stress. And many students feel a sense of needing to relieve stress, but with all the activities and responsibilities that fill a student's schedule, it is sometimes difficult to find the time to try new stress relievers to help dissipate stress. And these options are relatively easy, quick, and relevant to student life. And so, how can our students overcome stress? I have noted 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 ways on how they can be able to overcome stress. First one is they must have to get enough sleep. Students with packed schedules are notorious for missing sleep. Unfortunately, operating in a sleep-deprived state puts you at a distinct disadvantage. And you're less productive, you might find it more difficult to learn, and you may even be a hazard behind the wheel. Don't neglect your sleep schedule. Aim to get at least 8 hours a night and take power naps when you need them. Second one is you must have to overcome or rather to practice visualization. Using guided imagery to reduce stress is easy and at the same time very effective. Visualizations can help you calm down, detach from what's stressing you, and turn off your body's stress response. You can also use visualization to prepare for preparations and scoring higher or tests by vividly seeing yourself performing just as you'd like to. Third one is must have to exercise regularly. One of the healthiest ways to blow off steam is to get regular exercise. Students can work exercise into their schedules by doing yoga in the morning, walking or biking to the campus, or reviewing for tests with a friend while walking on a treadmill or in a gym or in any part of the school. Starting now and keeping a regular exercise practice throughout your lifetime as a student can help you live longer and enjoy your life more. Fourth one is you must have to take calming breath when your body is experiencing a stress response, no, you're often not thinking as clearly as you could be. Quick way to calm down is to practice breathing exercises. This can be done virtually, anywhere to relieve stress in minutes, and are especially effective for reducing anxiety before or even during tests, as well as during other times when stress feels overwhelming. And the fifth one is you must have to practice progressive muscle relaxation. So therefore, another great stress reliever that can be used during tests, before bed, or at other times when stress has you physically wound up is progressive muscle relaxation. This technique involves tensing and relaxing all muscles until the body is completely relaxed. With this practice, you can learn to release stress from your body in seconds. And this can be practically helpful for students because it can be adapted to help relaxation efforts before sleep or deeper sleep, and something students can always use, or even to relax and reverse test, induce panic before or during test. Next, you must have to listen to music. A convenient stress reliever that has also shown many cognitive benefits is that music can help you to relieve stress and either calm yourself down or stimulate your mind as your situation warrants. Students can harness the benefits of music by playing classical music while studying, playing upbeat music to wake up mentally, or relaxing with the help of their favorite slow melodies. Number 7 is you must have to get organized. Clutter, you must always have to remember, can cause stress, risk productivity, and even cost you money. Many students live in a cluttered place, and this can have negative effects on grades. One way to reduce the amount of stress that you experience is to keep a minimalist, suiting study area that's free of distraction and clutter. This can help lower stress levels, and at the same time, it can be able to save time in finding lost items and keep roommate relationship more positive. It can also help the students gain a positive feeling that their study area, which helps with test preparations and encourages more studying. With this, no, it is worth the effort. And then, number 8, you must have to eat a healthy diet. You may not realize it, no, but your diet can either boost or um, sap your mental energy and or brain power. A healthy diet can always function as both a stress management technique and a study aid. We must have to remember, no, improving your diet can keep you from experiencing diet-related mood swings, lightheadedness, and many more. Number 9, you must have to try self-hypnosis. Students often find themselves getting very sleepy, like when they pull all-nighters, but all kidding aside, no? Self-hypnosis can be an effective stress management tool and a powerful productivity tool as well. With it, you can help yourself release tensions from your body and stress from your mind, and at the same time, plant the seeds of success in your subconscious mind with the power of auto-suggestion. And finally, use positive thinking and affirmations. Did you know that optimists actually experience better circumstances? In part because their way of thinking helps create better circumstances in their lives. Yes, that's true, no? The habit of optimism and positive thinking can bring better health, better relationships, and of course, better grades. Learn how to train your brain for more positive self-talk and a brighter future with affirmations and other tools for optimism. You can also learn the limitations of affirmations and the caveats of positive thinking. So before I end, dear teachers and dear students, may I share you this saying, which read, I will breathe, I will think of solutions, I will not let my worry control me, I will not let my stress level break me. I will simply breathe and it will be okay because I don't quit. We should always remember, dear teachers, that we are actually what we are in the field of teaching profession. And at the same time, we usually create the future that we have. So therefore, no, it's really very important that we must have to remember that we are ourselves and we usually create our future. Thank you very much for listening, and I do hope that you learned much from the presentations that I made. Keep safe, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much for the things you shared for today, Dr. Joseph Inggan. And this time, I would like to present the certificate of recognition is awarded to Dr. Joseph Inggan for being one of the preliminary speakers during the day one of the International Multidisciplinary Webinar Series of Authors and Writers Guild Beyond Books Publication, dated August 26 to 28, 2022, with the theme Rising Beyond the Pandemic, Ensuring Quality Life Towards Integral Development. Within this, it is the August 2002 of Macabebe, Pampanga. And now, let's proceed to the last speaker for Okay, our last speaker for today. The last topic for today's webinar is basic and action research for junior high school and senior high school students. Now let me present to you our last keynote speaker for today. He is an academic consultant of National Christian Life College, Maranatha Christian Academy School System, an international exchange student in Dongsu University, Busan, South Korea, and accompanying professor at Jusai International University, Japan, a former association secretary of the Philippine Association of Pre-Service Teachers Incorporated, PAPSIT. He also conducted numerous institutional research studies and served as an education program coordinator in national and international seminar and workshop. His work and profession were recognized national and international. He received various recognition and awards inside and outside of the Philippines. He was a recipient of Outstanding Distinguished Educator and Outstanding Educator in the field of research in Global Leaders and Educators Awards 2021. He was employed at the Maranatha Christian Academy as school principal. He earned his doctoral degree in mathematics and educational leadership, a research panel member, and advisor. He served several times as resource speaker on topics related to his profession. He has been teaching mathematics, science, and professional education subjects in the secondary, undergraduate, and graduate education levels. He also published his research in international publication and lecturer and guest speaker of the Vival Group of Company, a published author of the different books in education and researchers. Currently, the director for the external affairs of linkages of Urdaneta City University. He is the ever dynamic and Dr. Sonny Soriano. A big round of applause, please.
First, virtual international webinar series of Beyond Books publication. My task this morning is to explain to you the basic and action research for junior high school and senior high school students. We all know that when we talk about research, medyo ano to it's too difficult to understand. But for our professors, for our teachers, from basic education, teacher coming from junior high school and senior high school, these are some of the tips that we can adopt and we can have so that we can understand what is all about basic and action research. I am Dr. Sonny Soriano of Urdaneta City University. I have here a contact number. If medyo hindi po masyadong clear ang information ng mga information na aking madidiscuss, you can contact me and I can give you some of the tips and other information regarding action and basic researches. Okay, first, let us identify the different kinds of quantitative research design, because we all know that there are lots of quantitative research design. First, we have the descriptive research design. Sir, what is descriptive research design? Descriptive research design is all about to describe the nature and the time of the study and to explore the causes of phenomenon according to Octave of 1992. This is very, very familiar po that all of us being a researcher, ito yung madalas na ginagamit, the descriptive research design. What are the different classification of descriptive research design? First, we have the descriptive correlational. What is this? We are just testing for the relationship between two variables. And another is the descriptive survey. We will be employed to measure the existing phenomenon without inquiring into why it exists. That is descriptive survey. And another thing, another classification of descriptive design is descriptive status. What is this? We are seeking to answer or seeks to answer question to real facts
relating to existing conditions. And another thing is descriptive analysis. We will be determining and determines and describes the nature of an object by separating it into parts. Okay, there are lots of definition regarding the classification of descriptive design. Number two, second of the kinds of quantitative research design is the ex post facto. What is ex post facto? This is a casual comparative. We will be having to uncover a cost and effect relationship, which is the research is not conducted between the two groups on each other. This is one second type or kinds of quantitative research design. And number three is the action research design. What is this? This action research design follows a cyclical process. The researcher identifies a problem and determines a plan of action to address it. This is very common to our basic education. Even you are in elementary level, we as an educator, we as a teacher, our principal or head teacher allows us to make an action research because it determines and identifies a problem that we will make an action or plan of action to address that specific problem. Okay, and number four, experimental research design. How about this? We will be determine the effect of one or more manipulative factors upon a dependent variable under a controlled variable condition. More on experimental, more on experiment specifically for science subject. This is very useful under one of the kinds of quantitative research design, which is experimental research design. I will give you an overview. What are the different characteristics of research title? Hindi po napakadaling mag-isip ng title. Isn't it? They're educators. You can type in your answer yes or no. I know all of us has this struggles. How to start making a research? Paano bang gumawa ng research title? Di po ba? Kaya bibigyan ko po kayo ng tip. What are the characteristics of a research title? Number one, according to Cristobal and Cristobal of 2007, research information ng title, nandiyan na po lahat pagkabasa, concise ang statement. And also, you must include the major variables. Example, you will be detailing, identifying the respondents, the location, the accurate information of that specific title, of specific research that you have. And also, the title that you will be doing or making is self-explanatory. You don't need to have your vocabulary highfalutin words. You will not be using those words in your research title. Dapat self-explanatory. And next, describe or imply the participants. That is the characteristics. Sir, alam naman po natin, the researchers, educators, once we have our mind of list of different research titles, we must know also the different guidelines in formulating the statement of the problem. Because it's very important, dear educators and researchers, that we have this idea that our research title is parallel to our formulation of statement of the problem. According to Chico and Matira of 2016, number one, the problem be it in general and specific. Okay, kaya nga may sinasabi sila na general ang statement of the problem and we have a specific. It could be 4, 3, or 5, or 6. Those are specific problems. You can be having your profiling, what is the relationship or difference between a specific variables to another variables. That's it. And second, the major problem of the study can be stated by briefly pointing out the objectives and the subject and the coverage. Okay, that is the major problem or general problem. And third, specify the sub-problems. It's very important po, dear teachers, that you must have the sub-problems for you to come up a good research in your introduction together with the whole research that you have, it is customary to state the sub-problems in interrogative form. Dapat naka-question form po ang ating mga sub-problems. Okay. And also, includes all possible components under the sub-problems of the study. And sixth, each specific question should be clear and univocal. That is very important. In our specific question, you should also have advanced information on the instrument to be used for gathering data, for data gatherings. As a researcher, we need to have the idea how to make data gathering tools. Ano ba yung kailangan kong i-apply dito sa specific sub-problems na ito? And answer to the specific questions. Ngayon po, those are the general general information and tips when we are making our researches. It could be an action research or a fundamental research. Okay, let's proceed for the action research. Yung action research, this is only a guide, dear teachers, for us to make an action research. These are the questions may arise when we are making our research, our action research. What is the problem? That is the first question. What is the problem? What are the some possible solutions when we are making an action research? What is the possible solution I want to investigate? How do I make solution to my work? And how do I record data and reflect on it? And also, how do I share my experiences with others? You know what? Action research is essential nowadays, especially when we are having a specific problem to address in our specific school. We have this to do this action research. And action research could be publishable. And Beyond Books publication is here to help us to publish your work in action research. And those are the things. Okay, how do we differ? Bigyan ko lang po kayo ng overview. Paano po ba, ano po ang pagkakaiba ng fundamental research sa action research? Kasi po baka sakali may pagkakatulad sila, pagkakahawig. Pero dito po, in terms of differences, in terms of areas, in terms of objectives and problems, okay, be specific with this. Under fundamental research, pagdating sa objectives, search new facts and establish universal. Unlike sa action research, you are looking for a solution to the prevalent school or educational problems. Kumbaga, ito po napakalawak pagdating sa objectives ng fundamental research. Okay, yung mga basic researches natin, which is you are searching new facts. You are establishing universal. Unlike to our action research, you are looking for a solution, a prevalent to specific educational problems. And in terms naman po sa problem, when you are making a fundamental research, you are conductive in the context of general circumstances in the field of education. Unlike sa action research, if there is a rising problem related to specific school only. Di ba? Ang makikinabang ay yung specific school na meron ka. Okay po. And also, in terms of different areas, we have the nature of problem. Sa fundamental research ay theoretical and wide. Unlike sa action research, practical and narrow yung ating nature of problem. In terms of sampling naman, sa ating fundamental research, it is large and gathered from outside. Unlike sa action research, yung ating sampling limited. At yung gathered nating data is related sa ating school. Related from our school. That is the difference between fundamental and action research. How about in terms of outcomes and findings? It can be used universally sa fundamental research. Unlike sa action research related to the specific school. If you are in the 1G Macaraig National High School, if you have your action research, syempre, related dun sa specific school, doon sa 1G Macaraig lamang po yung outcomes and findings mo po. In terms of duration, sa fundamental research, unlimited, can work lifelong. Yan po yung sa basic research natin. Sa actual research naman, limited. Kumbaga maximum of 1 session. If you have your first term or whole year, you have your actual research, limited lang yung ating duration po and maximum lang siya ng 1 session because you are just addressing a specific problem addressed to your school. How about the process? Sa ating process po sa fundamental research is rigid. Kumbaga technical ang knowledge required. How about sa action research? Flexible. No technical knowledge required here. Pagdating sa atin as a researcher, anyone, not necessary of the school. Kumbaga, ang ating fundamental research, hindi sa ating co-school, hindi sa specific school natin. Sa action research kasi kailangan teachers belong to the same school. Those are the researchers natin. Okay po. In terms of instrumentation naman po, in fundamental research, authentic tools are used. While in action research, the teachers made tests are used. Yun lang po yung pagkakaiba. In terms of data analysis, complex statistics are used. Pagdating naman po sa action research, general statistics are used. Okay po, those are the concepts na pwede nating makita when we are making or to compare ano po yung pwede kong gawin as a teacher sa ating mga estudyante in terms of fundamental research or in terms of action research. Ano po ba yung pagkakaiba po ng dalawang ito? Those are the things. And also, action research proposal, meron po tayong guidelines po when we are making action proposal. We have the introduction according to short of 2002, introduction, methodology, significance, expected output, references, work and financial plan, and project duration, and curriculum vitae. Please allow me to identify each one of the parts of action research proposal under short of 2002. When we are making an introduction section, this consists of background of the study, the context, the objectives of your research, the review of the literature, which is appropriate or aligned with the statement of the problem that you have. It's very, very important that the statement of the problem identifies the process that you are writing in your introduction because it should answer the following questions. Remember this, educators. Dapat makikita ito doon sa ating introduction. Number 1 question, what am I proposing to study? Bakit ko ba ipinopropose tong study nito? Di ba? What is the basis of my interest in this topic or focus? What is my main interest? Why I should make an action research or that specific title? And third, what I am trying to learn about and understand. What are my overall goals? We must identify in our introduction yung gusto nating malaman, matutunan, ano ba yung overall goals natin when we are making an action research regarding specific title that we selected. And also, what are the factors in my own history and experiences have led me to become interested in this area of inquiry? What I am trying to make is that you can use this list of questions to make your introduction by means of list of questions proposed by short of 2002. Yun po yun. Pwede natin gawin sa first and 2 sentences to answer the proposed to study. And next, you can have what are the factors in your own history and experiences that you have led to interest to that specific area of inquiry or title that you have. And also, it's very important also to what are your specific research questions for this study. Gaya ng sabi ko nga po sa inyo, dapat align ang ating statement of the problem doon sa ating introduction because kailangan mabasa din as a reader, kailangan mabasa ng ating mga readers, ng ating also mga other researchers. Ano ba yung gustong ipakita nitong title na ito, itong research na ito dun sa kanyang introduction? And also, we must include the question, what is the background of this topic or focus, and why is that background important to understand? Dapat i-include din po natin yun. And also, what is the context of previous work that has been done on this topic? Baka sakaling may mga related studies tayo na matutuklasan bakit nag-come up tayo sa ganitong problem to solve in our specific school. To what else topic does to what else does the topic relate? Kanino ba ito pumapatungkol? Diba? How do we address this topic? Sa iba ba? Ganun po. How can I situate my study within related professional literature? And also, we can include the question, where am I going to conduct this study in our introduction? And where will I gather the data? What is the specific context in which the study will be conducted? Example, in your school population, in your classroom environment, in your curriculum, etc. And last, in what kind of place am I gathering the data? You must include that in our introduction. And also, in terms of methodology po, napakahalaga po na makita din po ng ating mga readers ang consistency. Because in methodology section, it consists of research design, sampling procedures, methods of data collection, at dapat these are the list of questions that we must address and answer on that specific methodology. What is my general approach to research design? Experimental po ba? Case study po ba or qualitative? Quantitative, different research design. And second, masagot natin pagdating sa methodology, how and why did I choose this approach? Bakit ba napili natin ito? Ba ito? Ito ba yung applicable or hindi? What are the important kinds of data will I explore? What specific methods of data collection will I use? Example, kung notes po, teaching journal, interview ba, questionnaire po, tape recording po ba yung gagamitin natin, G-form, collecting of artifacts, kung field notes po ba, teaching journal, interview ba, questionnaire po, tape recording po ba yung gagamitin natin, G-form, collecting of artifacts, etc. Those are the methods of data collection that should appear in our methodology. And also, kailangan masagot din natin, what are my tentative plans for data analysis? Diba? How do I plan to organize and analyze data as I collect it? Those are the things that will answer in our methodology. How will I plan for more intensive analysis once the process of data collection has been completed? Diba? Kailangan makita po natin, ma-enumerate natin, what are your plans?
'Di ba? How much time do I expect to spend doing which activities? What is my week by week research timeline? Kailangan pagdating sa action research or making your research, may timeline po tayo. O, ito sa loob ng isang linggo, I will gather all the data, the proposal, I will send the letter to the principal, to the division superintendent, etc. Do I need to gain the permission or informed consent from other parents or guardians or other gatekeepers? If so, how will I gain this consent? Kailangan makita din po ito kasi ito yung mga list of questions na pwedeng itanong sa atin. How will I assure participants that they will be protected from harm and that they will not be exposed at risk? Because it's very important that we have our confidentiality in terms of the respondents, in terms of participants' response. Yan po. Next po, significance and expected outcome. On this section naman po, we must indicate the process, the services, the products or information which the action research project is expected to provide or produce. This is also presents the value of the intervention being used by the teacher. Ito yung mga guidelines po na pwede nating masagot at pwede nating makita pagdating sa significance expected outcome. Whose interests are served by this research? Diba? Sino po yung makikinabang nito? Who benefits? Diba? What is the study's potential significance from my classroom or local context? For education po ba or for society as a whole? What is the study's potential significance? Yun ang dapat nating ma-address. And also, who might care about this study? Sino ba yung makikinabang dito? Where and with whom might I share the findings? Okay. And also, where might a report of this research be published? Okay po. Those are the questions which is significance under expected outcome. Okay po. Those are the things that we need to address in terms of our significance and expected outcome. In terms naman po sa project duration or literature muna tayo. Sa literature and references, pagdating po dito, dapat allowed tayo bilang researcher to define the problem of inquiry. It includes the books, the journals, what else? The memoranda, the periodicals, thesis or dissertations, proceedings of articles, etc. And also, the format depends upon the institution's guidelines. Napakahalaga din po. Kunyari sa ating mga schools, meron po ba kayong format in making a citations? Meron po ba tayong style? Pwede ba natin gamitin yung APA format or American Psychological Association? Ano po bang, ito po ba ay series ng 7th edition ba? 6th? Depende po sa atin. Or we can use the Modern Language Association or MLA. And also, this is also recommended pagdating sa literature cited in references. You can use the Harvard and Vancouver cited. Diba? May mga kasi publication po na gusto nila ganito ang format na gagamitin natin when we are making our citation of our references. Okay. In terms of financial plan naman po, we have our format there. It refers on how we requested amount to be spent with the line item budget. Kumbaga, meron tayong summary of the includes materials for data gathering, the professional services given to experts and more. Those are the things. And pagdating sa work financial plan, dapat makikita natin ano yung activities natin. Kumbaga, naka-item description po yung quantity, the unit, how much is the cost, and the total amount of a specific financial work plan. Okay po. In terms of project duration naman po, this portion, dapat nakita natin is usually presented in a Gantt chart. Diba? May Gantt chart naman tayo. We can search that format. Indicating the number of months, the action research shall be accomplished based on the planned activities timetable. Yan ang hindi ko mawawala pagdating po sa action research proposal. Okay po. In project, yan po yung pagdating sa ating project duration. Sa ating curriculum vitae, it's very important to have our bio note. Kanina, pag pinapakilala ang ating mga plenary speakers, ang ating mga speakers, they have their own bio note. Pagdating dito, you can have insert your qualifications as a action researcher. Nakalagay po dito yung yung iyong tinapos, ang iyong achievements in many things. Those are the things that we might include when we are making action research proposal. In terms naman po sa ating mga junior and high school, senior high school students, beyond books publication, you can partner with us. Example, the Maranatha Christian Academy School System. We have partnered with Beyond Books Publication in terms of our research collaboration. We invite the different panel members from different schools and different universities, which is partner with Beyond Books Publication. Pwede po namin kayong i-guide in terms of your research colloquium, that is the term. And you can invite us, you can invite the Doc Leonilo and Beyond Books Publication to critique your work and to help you to improve your researches. And this morning, we are very thankful for accepting our invitation. Thank you very much for listening. If you have your questions, you may contact us in our numbers for us to enumerate the possibility and possible outputs, how we can make and improve our junior high school and senior high school action and basic research. Thank you very much for listening. God bless everyone.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Soriano, for your sharing your knowledge for your topic for today. So for this time, I would like to present the certificate of recognition is awarded to Dr. Sonny Soriano for being one of the moderator, at the same time the speaker for day one, the keynote speaker of day one of the first international multidisciplinary webinar series of authors and writer guilds beyond books publication, dated August 26 to 28, 2022, with the theme Rising Beyond the Pandemic, Ensuring Quality Towards Integral Development, given this day, 26th day of August 22, at Makabibi, Pampanga. And the following signatory are Dr. Muthmainnah, Dr. Leonilo Capulso, Minsuwer Bacolod, and Prof. Lampu. And now, to the committee members for today's Day 1 International Webinar. Let me review again the content of the following certificate. Certificate of recognition is awarded to Georgian Gel Lavaria for being the adventure during the Day 1 of the first international webinar. And next is to Dr. Sonny Soriano for being one of the moderators for today's Day 1 webinar. And the last but not the least, certificate yours truly, Dr. Rosana Joy B. Pryor, for one of your moderation for today's Day 1 first international webinar series. And to formally end the significant webinar, let's call the event chairperson, Georgian Chelsea Lavaria, to give the closing remarks. A round of applause, please. Is she around? Our chairman?
Wait lang po, ma'am. Ma'am, sorry, wait lang po.
Hello.
Yes, good morning, Ma'am Georgia.
Good morning. I was trying to send my video kasi po mahina po yung connection dito sa Palawan, but since naka-connect pa rin po ako, Ma'am Kyla, I'll do the live na lang po for the closing remarks.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, my dear colleagues, I would like to express my appreciation to the speaker for this day. So, from talk number 1 hanggang kay Dr. Sonny, maraming salamat po. Thank you very much for your valuable hello?
Go ahead, Ma'am.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much po sa ating pong mga speakers. No, we have Ma'am Allen, we have Ma'am Mandor, we have Ma'am Dr. Muthmainnah from Mandar, Indonesia. We have our loving, hardworking, generous, and smart BPP President, Dr. Leonilo Capulso. And of course po sa ating pong mga audience and participants for this webinar. So thank you so much for their valuable contribution to our first international multidisciplinary webinar series with the theme Rising Beyond the Pandemic, Ensuring the Quality of Life Towards Integral Development, hosted by Beyond Books Publication, the SEM, Colorado Global School Incorporated, the International Chamber of Language Teachers, and Universitas of Muhammadiyah. And of course, my deepest gratitude goes to all who attended the conference and helped to make it such a successful event. To our audience, to our dear teachers, attendees, thank you so much for sharing your precious time. Your active participation has made this virtual conference a successful event. I am grateful to each and every one of you. May also greet our colleagues from Mexico, United States of America, Philippines, and Indonesia, who made them available to attend the first international webinar despite of their busy schedule. While we celebrate the completion of this program, let us all remember that the pandemic will not stop us for working to improve people's quality of living and improve holistic progress. With this, I believe that we all have done well in our first day webinar. I am very pleased that you had a fruitful discussion. Good day and congratulations, everyone. Maraming salamat po.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Georgian. Again, thank you very much for the successful first day of webinar. I'm Dr. Rosana Pryor, and together with Dr. Sonny Soriano, we are your master of ceremony. And we're happy to hear that we reached the maximum of participants for today. Hopefully, same as well for the second day and the third day of our seminar, our webinars seminar. Hopefully, we reach again the minimum of participants, and the rest pwede rin manood sa live. Again, once again, good morning and have a nice day, everyone. That's all. Thank you.
Closing prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Gracious Father, thank you for making this day successful. As we depart, Lord, we ask you to be with us. Your presence has been in this place from the start to the end, and we want to say thank you. Lord, as we leave this place, let us go out there and be the salt and light. put into practice what we have discussed and learned. Help us to make a difference